What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Super Bowl episode. I'm excited. We got a huge guest list. Honestly, there's a lot of work to even get this thing going. Reach out to a lot of people. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in on this beautiful Wednesday. Our first guest, John Heislop, the father of gambling Twitter himself, everyone's favorite uncle, whatever you want to call him. John, how are you?
Just living the dream, Matty. Living the dream.
You excited for the Super Bowl or what?
Yeah. I mean, it's been tough to prepare for though. I'm looking at I had this as the Chiefs' favorite, the whole thing, my whole model, and it's not right because the Eagles are still favored. I've been waiting for them to go down, but I don't know what's going on, man. It's been tough. It's been tough.
Yeah, if I will say it is a Super Bowl I'm excited to watch. I feel like sometimes in the past I was like, this game's not even like that fun. I think it'll be a good game. I want the Chiefs to win, just because they'll pissed off my good friend Austin's Props is coming on later.
Nice.
So hopefully he hears me say that. But I know you run a lot of mental simulations. You have an algorithm that works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything in this game that's out to you that's just so glaringly obvious?
Not really. I'll be honest with you. It's been tough, man. Like everything that I've been thinking about, just it's not where it should be number-wise. So I'm gonna hopefully something comes out. I'm sure I'll find something though, Matty. I'm sure I find something like player prop-wise before Sunday. But as of right now, I've got the coin toss pretty much nailed down. I live down the street from a guy who collects coins, has been for years. I mean, he's probably the best coin guy going. So
100%.
He knows we've recreated the coin toss many times using the exact same temperature and the wind speed and the dry air that you're going to see in Arizona. And it's been coming up tails quite a bit, like enough. You know what I mean? So At plus 100, you almost have to take it. I know heads is due. I know we were talking before the show about heads being due, and he knows this as well. And he still says tails. So I'm going to go with the coin guy. You have to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any expertise in this, so who am I? You know what I mean? He's the one saying tails. I'm taking tails.
You know what? I think you're right. I think the dry air definitely has something to do with it. And I think they don't want you to know that.
Yep.
They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know.
Nope.
They're like, oh, just forget it. It's just a coin toss, 50-50. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when you got a guy, you got a guy.
Yep.
And that's what I think you're right. And, you know, getting the coin toss right just really sets the tone going forward for the game.
You ever been to a Super Bowl party where you blow the coin toss? You know what I mean? It's like, it's a mood killer. They yell out, you got tails, they yell out heads, and everybody just like, oh, like the whole thing. It's like, damn, man, like I just ruined this party.
You're just kind of claw your way back.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got to get back in. Like, you want to go maybe get a penalties over going or something, like hopefully, and get an early flag to kind of get out of that.
Yeah.
Go with the touchback. Touchback, generally, no, is probably the way to go. I learned that today. So, but like you have to recover early. Is my point from missing the point. That's all I'm saying. So there's that.
Yeah. You could be the guy, like if you're at a party and you get the coin toss right, everyone's like, oh, whatever this guy's picking, I'm on.
Yep, exactly. So I mean, you want to spread the word too early. You know, like, as soon as you get there, it's like, all right, guys, we're going tails, like right away. Let's go. You know, like now you built a crowd. Like, like, where's your crowd? There's a winner, there's a loser. Where's your crowd? Like right by the winner, right?
And you brought the momentum.
That's how the coin toss bet goes. So
and especially if you're meeting people for the first time at this party, like if you lose, everyone's like, who the hell brought this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, like the coin toss guy, what a genius. I'm already down $100. And like the game hasn't started yet. You know?
The good news about the Super Bowl, though, is that there's so many chances to get back or dig yourself a hole.
Oh, yeah.
Toss,
the way I see it, Matty, it's either going to be like really good or like really bad. Like, you don't want to have a mediocre Super Bowl. You just don't. Like, I don't know. That's just how
you're right. No, you're right. It's either go big or go home. I'd rather go big and be happy or go home and be like, man, that sucked, rather than be like, hey, it was another game.
I left it all out there. Yeah. You know, I left it all on the field. I went in big on every bullshit prop I could, and here we are. You know what I mean? Like that's how
it's also your last chance to bet on football. So it's like, why wouldn't you take the prop? Like, why wouldn't you take the novelty props? Even if you're just sprinkling them, just whatever. Like,
it's
the last chance you can get from
full unit, Matty. Full unit. Let's go. You know, like let's go.
Why not? Okay, so the coin toss is the beginning of the game, sets the tone, but the main event it's got to be the Gatorade color. Have you figured anything out? Do you have a Gatorade guy?
I got great news. I got boots on the ground. I got a Gatorade guy.
Nice.
So we're good there. The only issue is I'm not the only one that's figured this out yet. Like someone else has too, because earlier in the week, orange was plus 450. Now we're down to plus 300. There is one though. I think it's green or lime. Yellow. I think they got green and yellow together. That's minus 150, but don't bite on that, guys. That's a head fake. That's only because there's two colors listed and orange is only one color. That's the only reason that one has better odds. It's orange, no doubt. Final answer. Like I said, I already know. I got a Gatorade guy. So we at least got that in our pockets. If we lose everything else, we'll still hit the plus 300 on the orange Gatorade.
I think you're right. I think first of all, your Gatorade guy is great, but he's got loose lips. So next year, tell him to be a little more quieter because you know.
It's already, I'm not the only guy he's telling. I mean, this is his time. You know what I mean? Like, Gatorade guys don't have a lot of time to shine in this game. You know what I mean? So Super Bowl is pretty much their Super Bowl, if you know what I mean. So
is there a way to figure out the color in the game, like by looking at cups? Like,
I don't think they let you do live. I was gonna look again. All right, so timeout. So I got 2 more timeouts, by the way. So the plan is every year to try and get a look into the cups, but I always forget. And it's usually like you start drinking early at these Super Bowl parties. And then, like you said, by the time I forget to look in the cups, and I got receiver props, running back props. Like it's tough. I don't remember, but I don't think they let you bet it live anyways. I'm pretty sure they don't.
No, yeah. That would be.
If I was in charge, think about it like this, Matty. If I was in charge or you were in charge, would you let people bet live Gatorade? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Imagine working there and just like working the sideline, just like taking a peek.
I would be leaking that. I would be the biggest snitch going. Like
if I'm the guy that like, if I'm the trainer that like squirts it, I'm like squirting all over his face, making sure to check his cheeks.
Dumping it on me. Look at this. And wearing a white shirt so it shows up. Yeah.
I think that's the way to go. Well, you crushed. I think you're right. You're on the money on both props. I think tails and orange. If you don't have those tickets going in, like what are you doing? Like just
I don't know. You know what I was gonna say too? I don't know that you can still bet this. I think somebody snitched already, but national anthem over is always, it doesn't matter the number, doesn't matter the singer. If you want to look patriotic at your party, go over on that.
Yeah.
I think over got way juiced on all the offshore books, so I'm pretty sure someone already knows. And once that gets pulled out, it just gets pulled down. Like someone heard someone practice, and that's I don't even know who's singing it. Yeah, I just take the over.
I don't know what he was singing.
I know Rihanna's there, and if you want to talk Rihanna first song props, we can, but I don't know that one either. A lot of hits. I don't got a Rihanna guy.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be Please Don't Stop the Music or something. We'll figure it out.
Diamonds would be good.
Diamonds, that's probably
jam, like undercover jam that you wouldn't think, but maybe like I don't know. Like, do you lead in with that? Like, there's a whole breakdown in this group chat I'm in that you want to go with something that they have to set up. I think as the first song, and we can work around it. I read the thread, but Matty, I'm not the brightest bulb. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't sure exactly where they were going with it, but yeah. So
the bottom line is, there's everything to bet on. Remember, it's also not just this Chiefs and Eagles Super Bowl. It's our Super Bowl. It's that coin tosser Super Bowl. It's the Gatorade Super Bowl, National Anthem guy Super Bowl. It's everybody's. So remember that going in. John, is that all you have on the game? Is that what you got?
That's it. I probably will have something later in the week. Like again, sometimes the mental simulations are slower than other times, but like I'm having a hard time nailing down something perfect. Like you want to have one banger that you circle everything around, right? And I just have yet to find my banger.
I agree. And I think you'll get there. I think, they're making you work. They're making you be honest. But I appreciate you coming on. Everyone follow John Heislop at Slop Rules. It's right there under his face. Great follow on Twitter. And best of luck going forward. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Matty. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yep. Take care. All right. We got him off. And now I'm going to change the brand here. And we're going to bring on our special guest, Joe Delera, who's nice enough to come on. Nice little surprise thing there. We got the fun props out the way with Mr. Heislop himself. How are you feeling for the Super Bowl? Again, Chiefs plus 105, Eagles minus 120. Do you have anything on the sides and total of this game, or you have any props you want to share with us? What's going on? What's going on?
I honestly, it kind of pains me a little bit as a Giants fan, but I think the Eagles are just the better team on both sides of the ball. So I bet on the Eagles prior to the game against the Niners to win the Super Bowl. So I got a nice little ticket there. It's some plus money. And honestly, like I've added a little bit to the Eagles at this point too. They open, I just think the Eagles are the better team. When you look at this in terms of both teams, like I don't know what the Chiefs do better besides Patrick Mahomes. Like that's it. So it's like I get the whole like you don't want to bet against Mahomes. What do they do better? Like realistic, like is there anything that they do better than the Eagles are doing right now throughout the course of the season? I don't really see it. I know that's kind of like it's a little bit of a hot take, but when you look into the numbers, it's really not. The Eagles have a significantly better defense, and they're pretty close in offense. And obviously, that's without a couple of games from Jalen Hurts. So Hurts, we're 2 months removed from this shoulder injury. I think that he should be pretty healthy for this matchup. And I think that the Eagles' pass defense, which is the best in the league in DVOA, that's going to be a problem for Mahomes. So their strength is not really running the football. We'll see if they're able to do so against the Eagles.
Yeah, I think both teams' run game, I think whoever establishes it early is going to be obviously in a great spot, but I don't really trust both. I mean, I feel like the Eagles never use Miles Sanders as well as they should, but they don't really also have to. And you're right. I think if you look at the whole roster and the whole depth chart, the Eagles definitely have the better team. It's just, again, is Mahomes going to pull it out or is he not? I see the game going Eagles kind of take an early lead. And it's do the Chiefs come back or are the Eagles just too much for Patrick Mahomes? And that's kind of where I'm at. Do you have a certain prop or anything that you're eyeing in this game? Do you have any good looks here?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't have the breakdown of the Gatorade like John, so we gotta stick to more traditional markets for me. But I honestly I really like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. You can get it depending on the book somewhere around even money. I just think that he's got plenty of time to rest up. And when we really look at this, he scored a lot of touchdowns this season. He scored a touchdown in almost every game, basically at this point. And, he's got a touchdown in 11 to 17 games, but he's got 15 rushing touchdowns on the season. So this is one of those spots where I think the line is just a little off. Like, I don't think that we should be getting basically even money on Hurts. I think that he's one of their primary options. It's the last game of the season. It's the Super Bowl. If there's a goal line carry, maybe 2 weeks ago or a week or 3 weeks ago when he first came back from injury, maybe they aren't going to use him necessarily in that spot, but we saw them just do it. They pushed his butt right into the end zone. So I think that this is mispriced. I think that we should be seeing this maybe at least at minus 130, minus 140 to get it at basically even odds or, a traditional VIG. I think it's a great value. And I love Jalen Hurts to get a touchdown here.
Yeah. Do you see plus money anywhere or is it kind of like a minus 110?
I think we're down to like minus 105, minus 110. But definitely shop around because I don't have every sports book in New Jersey, but there's plenty of options there.
Yes, I'm going to put that up on the board for people to just come in and check out. Jalen Hurts touchdown minus 105. I think you're right. I think the best way to go big or go home is the Super Bowl, and we've learned to try. I think you just trust the quarterback. I think unless it's Tyler Huntley going across the goal line there for the Ravens, I think you're going to trust Hurts. I think if it's his decision, he's going to take it. He's
he's the dude. It's his team. Like if he wants the opportunity to run the ball, and they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think. Do you think this is a high scoring affair? Do you think we see a lot of touchdowns, or do you think we see few and far between touchdowns?
Honestly, to me it's a little bit of a toss up. I do think that both of these teams should generally try to rely on their run game based on the fact that both the Eagles passing defense is much better. And then obviously the Eagles traditionally like to lean on their run game. So I think with that, if you're going to have a running clock the whole game for the most part, if the ball's kept on the ground, I think that this is a tougher spot for an over just because of the time constraint here. Like I don't see as many passes in this game. So I do think that I would generally lean under on the game. And, it's higher intensity. Defense should be there. And my thought with overs is you really need everybody to produce. So we'll see if somebody doesn't hold up their end of the bargain.
I think I kind of like a first half over, but a full game under. Yeah. I think the teams come out hot. I mean, come out hot every game. They're one of the best first half teams in regards to spread and first half team total.
Yeah.
But I think the way I see the Super Bowl going, and correct me if you don't think otherwise, but I do think obviously third quarter, fourth quarter, that's when time management comes in. People try to milk the clock more. So I think the second half is when you see it coming down. I think you could see like a 14, 17, 14 at the half.
Yeah.
And then finish 24, 21 kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the total's been a little interesting because I think there's been a little bit of sharp money on the over, but when we're looking at the way that this game has kind of opened and the way the line has moved, I'm not totally certain. Like, I lean under, like I said, but the total has gone up. I think that if we get to like 51, 51 and a half, then you're in a really good position for that under because you're getting a key number there.
Yeah. It's tough. I feel like this is one of the Super Bowls where I haven't been too confident in I think the Eagles are a better team, but I'm scared. I'm almost scared to bet them. I just think
I mean, I think it's honestly the Mahomes effect because it's hard to bet against the greatest quarterback in the league right now anyway, and arguably what will be his generation. I mean, he's been to the Super Bowl year after year, it seems like, or just in contention for it. It's tough to bet against him, but I think that's where it really comes down to. It's quarterback's probably the most important position, but it's not like Jalen Hurts is bad, So yeah. I think I got to lean the Eagles here.
Do you think Mahomes is going to be 100% good to go, or you think his ankle's still going to be an issue?
I don't know. I mean, I think that it's one of those spots where he busted out that one run late in the game. And then, you could see he was regretting it a little bit after he had that one run. But, sometimes that's all you need is that one play like that where you're really jumping out in front of everybody and, you're getting that opportunity. So we'll see. But I think it's tough to say he'd be 100%.
Yeah, I think he'll be good enough to go, but I think with the Eagles pass defense, and just pass rush, one bad thing, you saw Purdy, I think that can somewhat happen in this game. It wouldn't be too far-fetched for them to rough him up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can't buy a couple extra seconds every so often because you can't run or can't move like that, that could be the difference in a ball game because that's a difference in maybe an extra completion or not, or having to punt.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Would you go out on a limb and say Jalen Hurts' first touchdown scorer as a sprinkle?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to assume that given the implied odds that since the Eagles are favored, they're more likely to score first, right? So I don't hate that, especially to start off the game hot, get everybody rolling. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I want to do a squad ride. I remember last year we did a squad ride.
Oh, that was dynamite.
Odell Beckham Jr. first touchdown score. Maybe we'll think of another one for this year. I'm excited though. Do you have any fun props? Do you think that you have any a novelty prop that you love, anything those fun things that they do, or are you kind of staying traditional for this?
Dude, I generally just try to stay traditional on this because I think there's just so many weird markets that I just don't know. I literally just don't know what the answer is going to be or what the angle is going to be. I definitely wanted to dive into the national anthem, but like John said, it sounds like somebody got to it a little bit already. So I think we might be cooked on that one. But I try to stick with the good stuff.
I think you're right. I like that play a lot. The guy I'm bringing on next is also going to love that as an Eagles fan. I'm not hearing from Fast Money Labs. He's must have some stage fright, but we do have Austin's prop coming on next. Joe, I appreciate you coming on. Everyone who does not know Joe, please give him a follow on Twitter at Joe Delera. So he's just Mr. Triple Double himself. If you probably saw his name from hitting a massive triple double leg, 3-leg, was it 5 for 3,000? Was it?
Yeah. 5 for 36.
So that's what he hit. I know that's few and far between those big monster long shots, but great basketball content, great football content as well. Go shoot him a follow. And thank you so much for coming on. And I'm sure I'll bring you on in the near future.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
See you later, buddy. All right. And next on our list is going to be Austin's props because I didn't see Mr. Fast Money Labs, but I'm sure he'll come on. So Austin, nice for you to show up. I don't want to talk to you because you're just going to throw the Eagles in my face, but everyone's been on him who kind of came in. How excited are you? Are you going down for the festivities as well? Are you there?
Not there. No, I'm planning on driving down there with my brother, so we're pretty excited. 18-hour drive, so that's gonna be kind of shitty, but should be fun. Good little road trip. So I'm gonna be there for the festivities. Won't be able to get in the Super Bowl, but should be fun. I got family down there, so should be a good time.
There you go. If you see a guy with a giant Gatorade truck with the color, that'd be ideal for you to spy on it for me. And let me know what color it is.
No, I saw you and John talking on that. I was trying to get a little edge. I'm kind of leaning it's gonna be yellow again.
Wow.
Eagles are big yellow Gatorade guys.
Are they? That's the intel we need to see. So do both sides have different colors, or is there one color for the event?
One color, but I know Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson has talked about it. So like I know they liked yellow. They had it in 2018. So it's
I like, and I think if you make red and green, does that make yellow? Which the Chiefs are red, Eagles are green. Is that a way to like make the color?
okay.
Did I just cap that? I think I might have. I don't.
Well, it's plus 165. I know that's like the dart throw that's like the least juicy, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting a feel.
I like it. My favorite Gatorade color is yellow, so I may have to sprinkle that.
It's been a few years since they've done it too. It's been like 5-6 years since it was yellow. Perfect.
I got to do some more research on that. But regardless of the fun props, do you have anything you're betting on this game? Obviously, you're an Eagles fan. Are you putting your money where your fandom is, or are you hedging your happiness? What are you doing?
100%. I got it on Eagles 1.5. I feel like everyone's kind of said, it's one of those plays where they're just on paper the better football team. The only spot where the Chiefs, I would say, are better is at tight end and quarterback. And I mean, it's not that far of a drop off at tight end. Both tight ends are great. Both quarterbacks are great. Obviously, Mahomes is better, but I think both teams are going to match up pretty well. But I don't see the Chiefs having success stopping the run game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chiefs. I mean, the Eagles are the better team. I love rooting for Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going to root for a good game. I really won't be I won't be upset or be mad if anyone wins, just from my perspective. For you, I want the Eagles to win, but for my other Eagles fans that
let it slide.
I could do without them rubbing in my face for a while. But I think it should be a good game. Do you have any thoughts on the over under, or are you just playing Eagles money line?
I couldn't really get a read at 51. I feel like it's going to be really tight to that. I feel like if it's under, it's going to be around like 46 to 48. And if it's over, it will probably be like in the 54 to 57 range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's super tight for a reason. Eagles defense is what's been interesting to me, is they've been so insane. Like one of the best playoff defenses we've seen. Obviously the talent they've gotten lucky with, I mean, quarterbacks going down and playing the Giants. So, it should be interesting. It's just they have played good football from what we've seen in those two games. So, like, do the Chiefs come out and score 30, or is it a slower game,
Yeah, I think the Eagles, I was talking with Joe Dallaire about this a little bit before. I think if they come out fast, Eagles are amazing in the first half. They average the most first half points at 18.2 per game, which is a lot of points.
Yeah.
I think their line's like 12.5. Kansas City's, defense can be hit or miss, so you never really know. But the Chiefs also second in the league in points scored in the first half at 15.5. So I see a over 24 first half on MGM and DK and a little alternate minus 120. I think that protects you with like a 14-10 push. Yeah. I like that play a lot. I think the second half would be a little more low scoring, a little more game management kind of scenario. Do you have any that you like an AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, or anything on the Chiefs, or are you just sticking full Eagles here?
I'm trying to get a lean on AJ Brown. I don't know if I want to go yards, receptions, or sprinkle a touchdown. So I'm not 100% sure what prop I'll be taking, but I kind of think he's due for a big game, especially with being pretty quiet in both the first two playoff games. And he's just too good of a player to like go unseen 3 games in a row. Like they had the big one that was a 70-yard tutty, but Hurts overthrew him. You know what I mean? Like eventually it's going to connect. And I think this could be a spot where it comes down to it, especially because Devontae Smith has kind of been the guy shining the last few weeks. So what I've seen this season is that they usually kind of go back and forth. So I'm kind of expecting AJ to have a pretty solid performance.
Yeah, I think AJ Brown is I think this is what the Eagles got him for, like this game. Like not necessarily they thought he was going to be for the Super Bowl, but they got him for big games to get more weapons for Jalen Hurts. They're going to use him. Wide receivers are going to have success. The Chiefs defense, a little better against the rush than the pass. I'm excited for this game as a whole. I like the fun props. I think I'm making my play official on here. I think I'm making the first half total of over 24, but you can't go wrong with either team totals. So that's where I'm going.
I love it.
Austin, anything else you want to share with the fans, with the people viewing?
I got one quick one for you. Have you looked at the combined jersey numbers for touchdown scoring?
I saw it. I did not click on it, but
at 160. That line will not go over unless Kelsey or Goddard get in the end zone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I got the numbers of all the players. Everyone's under like 25 except those two, 88 and 87. Like, if they stay out of the end zone, that's free money. Even if they
if they both score,
that's
good.
Yes, good. So you're playing with fire, but like Juju's number 9, MVS is 11, Pacheco 10, McKinnon 1, Mahomes 15, Smith 6, Brown 11, Hurts 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, like all low. Even like the role players, Zach Pascal, Quez Watkins 3, 16. Like,
I guess you could like almost hedge like a Goddard touchdown, like with like a jersey number under.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Kind of play around.
It seems like a way you can make some money on it.
Yeah, I'll have to dive a little bit deeper, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that angle. That's just you're just sitting there watching the Super Bowl with a notepad.
Yeah, you're counting up numbers, just print. Well, because like the Eagles are gonna rush the ball. Like if they're scoring touchdowns, it's gonna be a QB sneak, Hurts getting in. It's gonna be like a run play. Like I don't see Goddard getting in necessarily. I think that one's less likely. Obviously, Kelsey, I would say is a 50-50 chance that he gets in.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, you're cashing.
I like that actually. I think that's an awesome bet.
Well, because say if Hurts scores twice, that's 2 points.
Yeah.
Out of 160,
That's a fair point. What number is Pacheco? I don't even know.
Number 10.
Oh yeah.
And McKinnon has been scoring a lot. He's number 1.
Yeah, that's a very solid. What's the number? 180.
160 and a half. So like if the 2 tight ends get in, it's absolutely over. You could still escape if one of them get in though, because like Gainwell's 14. Like I got all their numbers down and everyone's under 25. Or it's Miles Sanders 26, but pretty low numbers. It's just
I kind of like the jersey number of first touchdown score under 11 and a half. Because that's if Kelsey or Goddard almost, and who else?
Kelsey, Goddard, Gainwell, Sanders, Mahomes, Sky Moore.
Yeah, but you get like Juju.
You get
Pacheco,
Juju,
Jalen
Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Dude, I like that. I think I'm betting that. I'm stealing credit for that one.
MVS.
I like that bet.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at all morning because I'm trying to figure out the best way to go at it, but there's definitely a way to make some money on it.
I might do like jersey number, first touchdown score, like a full unit, and just sprinkle like a 0.10 units on like a Kelsey first and a Goddard first.
You could like parlay them together anytime touchdown for both of them, and then sprinkle the other way.
Yeah, I like that. See, this is the content we need here. I like that. This is going to be clips.
Well, a little fun prop. We don't ever get to bet it, so I'm definitely going to be playing that, though.
I like it. I'm stealing that and taking full credit, so I appreciate you coming on.
You got it.
Anything else for us, or is that it for today?
That's all I got.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Best of luck to you going down there, and we'll soon.
Go Birds.
I hope they win for you, but just don't put it in my face. I'm bringing on a Giants ally. Austin, get the heck out of here. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to bring him on. It is Fast Money Labs. He is in the building. Fast Money Labs in your penthouse suite. How are you? How you feeling, buddy? How are you?
Long time no talk, Matty. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Sad to see the Eagles in there as our Giants fandom makes us. But are you betting? Are you putting your money on Analytical? Are you putting money where your heart is? What are you seeing in the Super Bowl?
I try not to bet with my heart, man. So obviously, I'm a little biased against the Eagles, but you got to put that aside. But yeah, I agree with a lot that's been said. I watched all the appearances. Sorry I couldn't get on earlier, technical difficulties,
You're
but
good. We made it work.
yeah, but I will say, the one element of my heart that I'll just share here is while the Eagles are the better team on paper, right? I also believe experience is a factor that needs to be mentioned. And the Chiefs obviously have an edge there. They've been to multiple Super Bowls in recent years. Andy Reid is the more experienced coach. I respect the crap out of Andy Reid, man. He's always has his team prepared. Doesn't matter who's injured, who's in the lineup, who's out. So I think the Chiefs, have that experience edge, which will keep the game close. So for me, it's hard to see a blowout. With that said, I'm not touching any sides. I do feel the Eagles will win, but I didn't actually bet it. My best bet's in the prop market. I'm happy to talk through that.
Yeah. What are you seeing here? We've seen a lot of Jalen Hurts touchdowns. Is it analytical props or is it jersey numbers like we just talked about?
So I mean, this is more of an analytical, traditional prop here. So obviously, just look at the Chiefs, right? And their playmakers are hobbled right now. They've got, Kadarius Toney's questionable. I don't know if he'll play. Juju Smith-Schuster's questionable. They don't have McCole Hardman. So the question becomes, who's going to be making plays? And dude, in my eyes, it's got to be Pacheco, man. I mean, just watching this guy, he plays with so much heart, and you can just tell, they need to give him the ball, and he's getting more touches. So last week, something really important happened that I want to point out is he got, I think, 5 targets, and he hadn't really been too involved in the receiving game, but they started to get him involved just because, number one, Mahomes is less mobile with his ankle injury, right? So it leads to more screen passes and dump offs. And number two, there's just wide recognition now that we need to get this guy the ball. He's great, after contact, he gets a lot of yards. So I'm looking at Pacheco for rushing and receiving. So you can bet the combo, rush plus receiving. And the line varies by book, Matty. But I found the best line at Barstool Sportsbook, 67.5, minus 110. So I hopped on that to win a unit. Pacheco, over 67.5 rushing plus receiving. And I will note, Matty, did you know that the Eagles have allowed a rushing touchdown in 10 of their last 11 games?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat, and it's a crazy trend. And, they're number one versus the pass in terms of defense, defending the pass. But against the run, they're average. And the Chiefs don't like to run a lot, but, their best shot at winning, keeping this game competitive, is having a nice balance of passing and rushing. And I think that leads to Pacheco. And towards the goal line, it's possible that McKinnon could steal the touchdown, right, as Austin pointed out. But, if I'm looking at a touchdown score from a value perspective, I like either Pacheco or McKinnon with a bit of a lean towards Pacheco just because I'm on him for the, rushing plus receiving.
I like that a lot. Pacheco, obviously Rutgers grad, which is literally right down the street from me. Love that guy. And I think you're right. And I see Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the roster for the Super Bowl. I think it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it with Pacheco. His attempts are at 11.5. I was kind of eyeing that up earlier. What are your thoughts on an over rushing attempts where they just try to let him get going, kind of set the tone?
It's it's tough with the Chiefs run offense, play calling is tough to predict, right? Because even when they're leading, sometimes they're pass heavy.
Yeah.
With that said, what I really like about Pacheco is just his explosiveness and his ability to get yards after contact and just make explosive plays. So for that reason, that's why I prefer the yardage angle over the attempts, because nothing would be worse than him finishing with like 10 carries, but he explodes for a 50-yard run, something like that, and then you lose.
I think that's a great spot. And if you watch him, everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. Like, everyone knows, like, that's just what he does. What are your thoughts on his over, just as a side, like over 15.5 reception yards? Because one thing and this is your angle, I know you're going on both, but would you also get, if someone asks, I know we're going to get the comments, like, would you take this or this? I like the receiving yards because I think that he's established himself so much in the run game that I think he's become almost a great dump off threat because the Chiefs, opposing teams are like, if McKinnon's on the field, he's kind of the pass catching back, but Pacheco's kind of asserted himself. 5 catches on 6 targets last week for 59 yards. I know that one of them was, I think, a breakaway 18-yard reception, but 15.5 receiving yards also seems very low.
Yeah, I agree, and that's also arguably even a better angle just because it's a lower number, which lowers your injury risk, right? You could get it like in the first quarter, and then you're safe. I also like it because the Eagles obviously excel from a pass rush perspective. They're really good at getting to the quarterback, Matty.
Yeah.
And that limits the time Mahomes has to go through his progressions and look down the field. And the way you counter it as a quarterback is just dumping it off to your running back. So I could definitely see that angle, cashing and him blowing past that number. And it might even be interesting to look at what the odds are, Matty, for 25 plus receiving or, some of the alt lines for a ladder.
I know you can do that on Bet365. I think FanDuel may offer his, all receiving lines, but I know they're very weird with sometimes who they put on there. I haven't really seen it myself. I'm actually looking at it. Receiving yard milestones on 365. Pacheco at 25 plus is plus 175, and his 50 plus is plus 825. That's like something I would be probably inclined to take. I wish the 25 plus is a little higher, but it kind of makes sense with the odds. So if you can get a better line, like a plus 200, I think that's a good snag.
Yeah, totally. And I do have one fun prop for you.
Here we go. That's what I was about to ask you.
Yeah. So, I've had some success in this market this year. It's, as far as I know, it's only available at DraftKings. It could be available elsewhere, but it's in the 4th down conversions market. So you can bet over under X number of conversions.
I was looking for this. Where'd you find it?
So it's hidden, and that's why I like it so much, because people aren't really looking at this or betting it, so you can find a good, off mispriced line. So it's under game props.
On what book?
On DraftKings, it's listed under game
props.
props.
I saw it, and I can't find it anymore.
And then it's listed on a sub tab under there. It's called scoring specials.
Jeez. Okay.
And there's a couple options here, and they've expanded it for the Super Bowl. So traditionally, it's just the total number for the game, which they have. It's over under 1.5 minus 160 or so.
Yeah.
But new for the Super Bowl, Matty, you can actually bet an individual team. So in this market, I'm attacking the Philadelphia Eagles side of the equation, and I'm backing them for over 1.5 4th down conversions plus 190.
I love that. I don't see it online. Where is that?
Should be listed towards the bottom of the scoring specials.
I literally don't see it anymore. Maybe you can find it. But what was it? Over 1.5? Over 1.5.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's not underscore. It's under conversions towards the bottom. My apologies. There's another section called conversions. Under game props.
Oh, geez, that's all the way. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's hidden, and I'm on the Eagles over 1.5 plus 190.
I think both are good bet. I see Chiefs over 0.5 at minus 135. I think that's solid as well. I think both teams, you get at least 2 tries.
Yeah. So that, they're both good angles, but I took the Eagles just because they've demonstrated they're willing to go for it on 4th down, even sometimes in their own end of the field, and they're also super effective and efficient at doing it. They just line up the guys behind Hurts and they push them over. So I took that to win a unit. So I'm risking a little more than a half unit, Matty, to win one. And I'm also with you on the first half team total. I know you're leaning towards the first half over. I took the Eagles over 13 team points in the first half.
That. Yeah,
I got that at FanDuel. The line varies by book. I liked the flat 13 line at FanDuel minus 110. Took that for a unit as well.
I think that whole angle is exactly right. And I think the Eagles is the better side. I think if you can get 13, I know there's a 12.5, I believe, with some more juice if you're more inclined to pay in the juice. But I think that's exactly spot on. I'm very happy I did this episode because everyone kind of validated my feelings, and I appreciate you coming on. Anything else for us today? You've given us some great insight. I'm glad you shared this with us. Do you have anything else for us?
Not really. I think it'll be an awesome game. So appreciate you having me on with a stacked group of guests today. So really awesome
guys,
stuff.
Follow Fast Money Labs on Twitter. His handle is underneath his handsome face. I'm going to go through this list of the plays real quick just to follow up before we end, because we're going to end together. We have John Heislop with tails. He's got a coin guy, says it's going to be tails, and he's got a Gatorade guy, says it's going to be orange. So the fun props there is to set the tone in the beginning and the end. Joe Delaire hopped on, gave us Jalen Hurts touchdown at -105. Our good friend Austin's props gave us Eagles -1.5. Eagles fan, but I think he's got a solid point there. I gave first half over 24 -120. And Fast Money Labs gave us Pacheco over 67.5 rush and receiving yards. And to win a unit, it's a little over half unit on Eagles over 1.5 fourth down conversions. And he also just sprinkled at the end for us an Eagles first half over 13 first half points. So a lot of plays. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for a special giveaway for Flash Picks on my Twitter later. Fast Money Labs, thank you again for coming on. Say goodbye, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, guys.
Peace.